All right, so what's up, everybody? Glad to be back. So, as you guys already know, Kawhi Leonard resigns with the Clippers. Um, I'm also going to be doing a drop of, the Lakers with their free agency run, the Bulls and Lonzo Ball, also LiAngelo Ball as well. There's a few things coming very, very soon, but I'm probably just going to do them rather than doing a big ass upload. Just do like slightly daily uploads until I run out. And then come next month, come back again, come back strong. So be on the lookout damn near every single day, man, for new material to come out. So before we get it started, shout out to Unify, shout out to Pedro, man, shout out to the whole Unify squad, shout out to Anthony, shout out to my manager Nathan, shout out to Darren, shout out to Dante, shout out to Anthony once again, shout out to my pops too. So and shout out to David too, man. Welcome back, David. So once again, we already know that Kawhi Leonard, re-signed with the Clippers. And as I've been saying before, it's kind of clear that with the mainstream media, when it comes to Kawhi Leonard, there has been a code red issued on Kawhi Leonard. And there's a huge tack on Kawhi Leonard, especially since he hasn't signed with the Los Angeles Lakers. This is when it started because everybody was in awe and was in love with Kawhi Leonard after he did what he did and, that historically great playoff run in Toronto. You understand? So everybody was in awe of Kawhi Leonard, and he was expected to sign with with LeBron James and, the Los Angeles Lakers, and he didn't do so. So ever since then, there's been a code red, and this is how you know that a lot of people, also when it comes to the mainstream media, a lot of people are under the payroll of of Clutch Sports Entertainment or Clutch Sports Media, whatever it is, and they're getting paid under the table to speak highly of LeBron James and especially negatively about certain people. And Kwame Brown has shown, especially with black people on TV and sports entertainment, all they really do is paid to degrade and talk down about other so-called black men. So we're just gonna do a breakdown of how Stephen A. Simp does a breakdown of the Kawhi Leonard fiasco and him resigning with the Clippers. So let's tap in.
Kawhi Leonard is one hell of a basketball player. When healthy, he's a top 5 player in the league. Let me be very clear about that. It's without question. Kawhi Leonard is one hell of a basketball player. When healthy, he's a top 5 player in the league. Let me be very clear about that.
In my personal opinion, I would say Kawhi Leonard is definitely top 3 as of right now. I don't think it's, you can definitely make a debate that he's right outside the top 3 or somebody else's top 3. But if you ask me personally, Kawhi Leonard is top 3, maybe even top 2.
It's without question. I say that. So what I'm about to say next doesn't come across as unduly disrespectful in any way.
And once again, this is a reason why I even started off with saying a lot of these dudes, especially the so-called black brothers, the Boule booty bandits or the Boule niggas, in the media, all they're really doing is getting paid off disrespecting and speaking down on so-called black men. He has to speak factual about the man and quote unquote praise him so that way when he speaks negatively about him or tries to create a false narrative about him, it's not disrespectful. I gave him his just due just beforehand, so what I say is null and void. We have to be able to call this bullshit out.
I would not give Kawhi Leonard a long-term contract. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
Once again, Stephen A. Smith, it's not even the fact that he's coming at you from a standpoint, as of right now at least, that is, something that's planned out or something that even really makes too much logical sense. Because Kawhi Leonard is a different type of superstar. I definitely understand if you're going to go the route with, his injury problems and things of that nature. Yeah, but once again, when Kawhi Leonard left Toronto, after he won that championship, everybody knew that he was going to have load management. So any team was willing to be able to go after Kawhi Leonard and knowing that that was going to happen and going to allow him to be able to load manage, especially the Los Angeles Lakers, and give him more than that. So, we have to be able to, hold it in a proper perspective. When he won, it was okay, and he was able to get it done, and he was limping around. He wasn't even 100%. But now since, he didn't decide to play with the Los Angeles Lakers and they blew that 3-1 lead, he came out with that commercial. The attack is on Kawhi Leonard. And once again, he's coming at you from an emotional standpoint, not from any type of, analytical, not from any type of analytical or any type of perspective that makes any type of sense whatsoever. He's only going to attack you from an emotional standpoint. And when he does try to bring any type of analytics, just like Stephen A. Does, the simple Boule Negro tactic is to bring up empty stats, okay, that is creating a narrative, and they don't apply it to anybody else. All right, I was sent this video. You understand? And I didn't even watch this, and I already know exactly what Stephen A. Smith is going to say or exactly how he operates. I've been watching First Take and ESPN since about 2000 and probably 8, 9 years old. When my dad used to watch this shit on 83rd Avenue. If you're familiar with Phoenix, Arizona, or if you're at least familiar with me and how I grew up, we always used to watch sports and entertainment, and especially basketball come playoff time. My dad used to like the Spurs, so this is the reason why Kawhi Leonard is my favorite player in the NBA today. Not to get too much off topic, but since my dad used to watch the Spurs and Kawhi Leonard, when Kawhi Leonard first came into the league, when they first went to the NBA Finals, I want to say in 2012, 2013. 2013, 2014, whichever year, the first year that it was that the San Antonio Spurs played the Miami Heat in the finals that first year. My dad was saying that Kawhi Leonard is the best player in the league. My dad was saying Kawhi Leonard is the best player in the league even then. Maybe it wasn't that he was the best player, but my dad, he was saying that he's just the most effective. I definitely understood what he was saying, and my dad was definitely right. Kawhi Leonard was definitely coming around that time. And Kawhi Leonard, when he won the next year, the Finals MVP, he wasn't even the Kawhi Leonard of today. He was nowhere near offensively, he was nowhere near Kawhi Leonard that we see today. All right, so it's amazing how far he's came. And once again, shout out to you, Pops, because my dad was right. And this really probably the only reason I really do like Kawhi Leonard like that, and the fact that his style of basketball is very conducive. But my dad's noticed that since the jump, since when he first came into the league. But anyway, let's keep going.
And great as Kawhi Leonard is on both ends of the court, he also spends a lot of time on the side of the court, sitting in a damn chair. He's still Mr. Load Management, y'all. He has a
Of course, but you got to understand Kawhi Leonard. I do agree that Kawhi Leonard does kind of need to play a little bit more, but that's why, what's the coach name? Tyronn Lue was so effective. He started to put a little bit of onus on Kawhi Leonard. He started to make him play back-to-backs and play multiple games and not really sit out that much. But Kawhi Leonard, Kawhi Leonard played more games this year than LeBron James. and Kawhi Leonard was at a historic pace at the beginning of the season. He didn't even get his just due for the MVP at the beginning of the season for the MVP race. He didn't get enough consideration. I think at one point in time, Kawhi Leonard had like 8 games up until Kobe's death where he scored 30 straight points. Kawhi Leonard got hurt, then he started to miss out, then he started to low manage a little bit more. And, Kawhi Leonard, once again, if you're telling me, with the low management and things of that nature, yeah, he does need to play a little bit more. But that's going to come in the coming days. And Kawhi Leonard is one of those superstars. At least now, he's one of those superstars who not even takes care, but tries to take care of his body. He listens to his own body, and there's nothing wrong with that. Kawhi Leonard may not even play into the time of which LeBron James is playing at this age. Kawhi Leonard may not play that deep into his NBA career. He might retire at about 34, 35 years old. So, but once again, when Kawhi Leonard won that championship in Toronto, the thing was load management was the key. Everybody was saying that load management was the key, and it works. All right, so everybody was willing to sign Kawhi at that point in time, and willing, once again, to give him load management, knowing that that's one thing that comes with Kawhi Leonard. One thing that he needs to do is get more trainers on his body.
Played more than 60 regular season games in 4 years. And now he's coming off.
Yeah, and see, once again, 60 regular season games in 4 years. He hasn't played more than 60 regular season games in 4 years. And that's the thing with these false narratives as well, man. Like, he was first team he was a first team player. He was first team, all first team. Okay, all NBA. So he played more games than LeBron James last year. All right. And this is the thing is This is the thing as well. He played 60 games 4 years ago. He was hurt. That's the year he only played, what, 9 games because he knew that he wasn't ready to come back yet. And that's when the San Antonio Spurs tried to force him to come back and play. All right, the next year, he played 60 games. So what are you talking about? All right, last year, once again, he played more games than LeBron James. He even played more games than Anthony Davis. He played more games than James Harden as well, if I'm not mistaken. All right, he even played more games than Kevin Durant. All right, and with Kevin, and nobody was saying anything about Kevin Durant when he was a free agent. Oh, I don't trust in Kevin Durant and giving him, he's not worth a long-term deal. Or he turned team to team, even though Kawhi Leonard is on as many franchises as LeBron James and Kevin Durant. You know. So this is the thing as well. You guys try to knock Kawhi Leonard for the games that he doesn't play, but everybody was willing to take Kawhi Leonard with his low management. So I'm confused.
Off an ACL injury. An ACL surgery. Heading into his 11th season in the league. He's
right, and Joel Embiid is going into what, his 8th season? He's only played more than 60 games once? I mean, what are we talking about here?
30, y'all. 30.
Yeah, and Joel Embiid is going into his 8th year. He's what, 27? Are you? Is Joel Embiid not worth the big contract? That's a bigger conversation. All right, because most of the time, people who's even that big as well, Joel Embiid, who puts so much emphasis, who dominates the ball so much, you know, most of the time they don't have a very long shelf life in the NBA. So that's a better conversation if you're talking about Joel Embiid. But Kawhi Leonard, no. Kawhi Leonard is a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. I think, 5-time, 6-time All First Team All NBA player, if I'm not mistaken. You know, 2-time Finals MVP. And once again, when Kawhi Leonard won his first Finals MVP, when he arrived on the scene, at least to where everybody in the NBA world found out about Kawhi Leonard when he won his first Finals MVP, he wasn't even a Defensive Player of the Year. I think did he even win? Was he even a Defensive Player of the Year yet? You know, so Kawhi wasn't even what he was offensively yet, and Kawhi Leonard also got better defensively from when he was at that age. All right. So the thing is just Kawhi Leonard now is a superstar, and he's proved his name. And I feel like, at least for me in particular, when I watch Kawhi Leonard, he doesn't have respect for most of the quote unquote superstars or most of these other all-stars in the NBA, because he feels like they're not on their level. You know, it's not until the playoffs when they're when their backs are against the wall, you know, you see Kawhi Leonard start to put clamps on dudes and start even to take guys one-on-one, start to guard them the whole game. The only time he does that is the only times he actually does that is with Kevin Durant and LeBron James, sometimes Giannis Antetokounmpo. Okay, even now you're going to see Kawhi Leonard start to pick up Giannis Antetokounmpo, I feel like, the whole game, because Giannis now is on the level of a player like Kawhi Leonard, a 2-time MVP. I think he's a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year as well, if I'm not mistaken, back-to-back. You know, he's also a Finals MVP. You know, so Kawhi Leonard, I feel like Kawhi Leonard likes a little bit what Giannis Antetokounmpo just accomplished, and he's going to start to view Giannis on his level, or, you know, start to show why he's even better than Giannis and all these other guys, you know, at least in his eyes, because once again, he doesn't start to pick up all of these guys until, you know, backs are against the wall, and he doesn't put the pressure on unless they're in the playoffs.
with no idea when he'll actually be back on the court. Kawhi Leonard.
Yes, you do. You know Kawhi Leonard is going to miss pretty much, 80% of the season? You know he's probably not even going to come back come playoff time, and if he does come back, it'll be a little bit before the playoffs. You know, and he still probably won't even be in game shape by then at that time, or in the immaculate condition that Kawhi Leonard usually is in.
There's a lot of things as a basketball player. A lot of great, phenomenal things. No doubt.
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard does a lot of phenomenal things on the basketball floor. You know, he has a very high IQ. He makes a lot of, you know, he doesn't get really too many assists, but, you know, he makes a lot of the right plays, you know, in transition based on how the defense is going and how they're collapsing, make one pass to be able to get that, like a hockey assist. You know, he does that a lot. He's a phenomenal defender. Now, of course, we already know that he's a phenomenal rebounder. That's one thing that we don't talk about. And, of course, rebounding goes hand in hand in defense. Kawhi Leonard has great hands. He's great at getting into passing lanes. He's great at anticipation. Kawhi Leonard is a killer. Kawhi Leonard is clutch. Kawhi Leonard is phenomenal at taking shots. Once again, his IQ, because he shoots at a career at damn near 50% from the field, and he came into the league without having an elite jump shot or a great jump shot already as it was. So Kawhi Leonard just came a long way. There's so many things that Kawhi Leonard does phenomenal and great, which which creates which would go hand in hand with creating a winning culture, which is a reason why he decided to join LA, because he wanted to be able to create a new culture for LA while he was there and have his own legacy. Kawhi Leonard knows that he's going to be he's going to be the only player to have taken 3 different teams, right? Aside from LeBron James, 3 different teams to the championship and win, right? 3 different franchises. But Kawhi Leonard will be the only player that, and this may never happen again, Kawhi Leonard may retire if he wins one more championship, which he most likely will win one more championship with the Los Angeles Clippers. If he wins one more championship, he's going to be the only player in NBA history, right, that has took 2 franchises that has never been to the NBA Finals to the finals and won. He will make 2 franchises that has never been to the finals champions. Kawhi Leonard will do that, and one of those teams will have been for another country. It's not like Kawhi Leonard left. It's not like Kawhi Leonard left the NBA and went to an African basketball league or a European or a Spanish basketball league or a Slovenian basketball league, right, and win a championship over there. They were willing and ready to treat him like a god, like a king, and you're saying he's not worth a long-term contract. That's ridiculous, Stephen A. Smith.
Not about it. But here's one thing he's not. He's not a culture builder.
Well, once again, this Kawhi Leonard, once again, Kawhi Leonard is such a phenomenal player, the things that he does on the floor. And you can see the mental edge that he does for his teammates as well, right? Even without him being there on the floor, but with them knowing that Kawhi Leonard is there, even when he is on the floor, when you look at the Toronto Raptors and what they got accomplished, Kawhi Leonard is definitely a culture builder. What are you talking about? Kawhi Leonard took another country, a team who has never been to the finals. He made another country champions, all right? And they've never even been to the finals before. The Los Angeles Clippers have never been to a Western Conference Finals. And in 2 years, he's done that already. All right, Kawhi Leonard was about to win a finals this year had he not gone down. He was going to dominate Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks once again. And once again, Kawhi Leonard is a guy who knows, exactly when he retires, what he wants to be, what his legacy wants to be. And he took, and once again, Kobe even said that Kawhi Leonard likes to take on the challenge. There's no way you're telling me he's not a culture builder, and he turns down to go play with multiple other superstars. All right? He turned down the opportunity to go play with LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. All right? When Kevin Durant went and signed to the Nets, he didn't go over there and sign to the Nets. All right? He didn't go sign with Giannis Antetokounmpo. He didn't go sign with Steph Curry. All right, he did it on. He went. He got another All-Star in Paul George and went to the Los Angeles Lakers, a team that's rivaling the Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Clippers, a team that's rivaling the Los Angeles Lakers. All right, team that was on the rise, on the come up, but we see that Kawhi Leonard was their missing piece. You understand? The Clippers had a culture of just dogs. The Montrezl Harrells, the guys from the season before, Lou Williams, a whole bunch of, underachievers, guys who are probably even overachievers, actually, guys that were never really gonna be, much more than what they were. And Kawhi Leonard was willing to take those guys along with him on the next step, taking those guys to the next step. He was trying to take those guys to the next step. So how can you say that Kawhi Leonard is not a culture builder? That's ridiculous.
He's not a marketer, nor is he a...
Yeah, Kawhi Leonard is not a marketer, but yeah, he has his own brand, and he's in Shoe Balance, and he has commercials. All right, he's not, nor is he a promoter, but whenever you see him, he's rocking his own clothes and his own gear. And we also saw the clip where Kawhi Leonard, after one of the games, since he's not sponsored by Gatorade, he took the Gatorade off the table. He's like, I'm not sponsored by Gatorade, and took the Gatorade off the table. So Kawhi Leonard may not be a may not be a in your face or out there go getting promoter, but Kawhi Leonard is definitely he definitely knows how to market himself. All right, and he's with New Balance, a team that markets him well as well, with the Terminator commercials, and with him also being very quiet in the commercials, the fun guy, things of that nature. So what are you talking about?
Promoter.
And once again, since Kawhi Leonard doesn't talk, he doesn't have to do that. Once again, he can just wear his own brand. All right. Look, Kawhi Leonard doesn't do all of that yet. I went ahead and I got my dad a Kawhi Leonard jersey. All right. I got myself some New Balances. All right. So what are you talking about?
I'm with this personality. You can't sell tickets off the man, considering you never know when he'll actually suit up. And just imagine the load management he'll require coming off a serious knee injury.
Well, we do know the last time he came off a serious knee injury and had to sit out a season and was forced to traded to was forced to try to go out there and play and risk his career, his well-being in his career, and his money as well. At the end of the day, we saw when he went to Toronto, when he was limping, still not even 100%. When he was going through load management, what happened? He got it done. Limping around, limped through Giannis, limped through the Philadelphia 76ers with Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid, and Ben Simmons. All right, he limped through those guys. So, once again, Stephen A., what the hell are you talking about?
A big money, 1 or 2 year, prove it type deal for Kawhi Leonard. I'm down with that. Get a man what he wants for 1 or 2 years. I don't give a damn if it's $100 million. Take it. Maybe
for 1 or 2 years, give him 100. We need to see what Stephen A. Smith's roster is going to look like, because I promise you, if he was the GM or the owner of a team to try to put a team together, I promise you those guys would be fucking terrible, or a head coach at least. Promise you those guys will be fucking terrible if he was a GM to be able to put a team together.
comes back 100%. Maybe even get you a ring. But a long-term deal?
So you're not willing to give somebody who can give you a ring a long-term deal? Wouldn't winning a ring go hand in hand with creating a culture? Don't you have to create a culture and have a personality, or a team identity to be able to win the championship? What are you talking about?
I'd have to think real hard about that one. And I think the Clippers know. They should think real hard about it too.
Well, I'm sure they thought real hard about it because they re-signed him. All right, so, and once again, this is what you're reacting to, so I'm sure that you're aware. I already know that clearly you're fucking aware of this. But Stephen A. Smith, you do a terrible job, all right? And this is the reason why ESPN is going to get rid of your ass. All right, one of these days, you're going to be, whatever the hell show that you're on, as a First Take, whatever, First Things First, whatever the hell it is, you're going to be off that show very soon. All right, because you're terrible. All right, and the people don't even like you anymore. So that's all we got for this one. We're going to see what happens with Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers in the next one. We out. Peace.